I wanted to dig into that a little bit more. What exactly is change management? When we talk about change management from a vendor's perspective, how can they add to that conversation? How can they come in with inside their proposals a good change management program? And how can they really make sure that their technology is going to be used properly and used on an ongoing basis?
Well, just teasing out some of the last things I said. So they need to help the client with the why.
Yeah.
The training and education materials they understand their product.
Yeah.
So they need to provide that as content and then work with the supplier, or not the supplier, the actual client, so the two can then converge into a piece around training and the schedule of how you would actually train those people.
Sorry, I wanted to dig in. So you would actually recommend that they create like a schedule of training and getting the right people?
And you would supply the content.
Perfect, okay.
Okay. Obviously the client puts the contextual stuff because it's their operation. A good example of this, for example, autonomous haulage.
Yeah.
There's about 400 hours per operator for training. Now you can't get a driver out and do 400 hours in a classroom. So there's some classroom, but most of it's on the job. And so you also need to look at balancing that and make recommendations. Excuse me. Tools, I think, is probably a bit easier because that normally goes accompanying the tech which you are going to roll out. You make recommendations around things like job descriptions, which will be able to support the client. The client obviously owns the roles and the role descriptions, but they need to understand what the impact's going to be, if there is at all. And then from a sustainability point of view, you must recognize you're not just going to be able to walk away.
Yeah.
In this industry, what I've seen is there are problems which have been sort of continuous improvement problems. Some of those still exist today, which I and other colleagues worked on in the last 20, 25 years. So you have to ask yourself why they're recurring. And I think a lot of them are recurring for two reasons. One, I think the very manual operating system which we've got is unsustainable for those type of solutions. We need to re-platform into like a digital platform to actually start having sustainable solutions around that. And that's going to be vital if we want to become green mining and things like that in the future. And the other thing is because there hasn't been follow through for a certain amount of time by the supplier. Because you need to make sure that people truly understand it, they're using it correctly, it becomes sticky and it stays sticky.